We said to ourselves, man, oh man, what's going to happen when football is finally over? And over the years, we start asking ourselves that question less and less because with football out of the way, well, not completely based on the news we got from today, baseball's ramped up. We've got the first opening week of baseball along with the opening week of Sandlot Baseball Association. We've also got basketball, not to mention the Supreme Baller Society Championship going down right now as we speak. So it's just one of those times of years where between the NFL offseason, baseball starting up, basketball heading into the playoffs, it's a very, very active time, which means that the two most active sports guys that are back in the house, back in the flesh for another edition of On the Money Podcast, here live with a little bit of a new look in the On the Money Sports Lounge, the epicenter of nostalgia mania, the On the Money Sports Bar going on in the background. We've got the gimmick set up, a little bit of late night coffee from Duncan.
I had a long day.
I had a long day of watching
baseball.
What up,
Magoo? What up, Rob?
I had a long day of watching baseball and making bets. And this is the time of the night when you're hoping to cash out on all the bets that you made during the day.
I'm going to ban you from the forum.
Go Yankees, baby. That's right. Go Yankees representing. Oh, shit. Playback here on the TV. We've got live baseball going on right in front of us. Live reaction to the late slate.
Yo, the Astros won a game yet?
Astros won the other day when their pitcher did a no-hitter against the Blue Jays.
Who started him in the
he was on waivers.
Ha!
He was on the waivers. Nobody had him. So he pitched a gem unlike any other and may still be sitting on the waiver wire waiting for his next spot in the rotation. We're heading into week 2, actually, of the season. So now we're starting to see the second and third pitchers coming out for their next spot in the rotation, seeing if they could recreate some of the magic from last week or hopefully help fix some of the errors and blunders that got them all caught up last week and had their ERA shooting sky high. Nonetheless, here we are. Oh, money, myself, getting ready to break it all down, man. An eventful day in the sports world.
Very, very.
I love it.
Got some rainouts, postponements.
3 postponements, a Phillies game that is just starting underway now that was supposed to start at 1 p.m.
Yes, Drew, ring the bell.
Remember that
my boy was Drew on Watch Greatness last night.
Little Jimmy was in the building last night when Harper hit the 3 home runs, and that was the lucky charm that set it off for the Phillies to get their win. I should have bet the over.
What up, Julio?
Everybody's just checking in right now. Everybody's repping. We love it. We love it. Good to see you guys. Good to be back in the flesh after a stressful live baseball draft that we had going down last week where you had to keep eyes on everything that was happening. It's nice to
Rob, a Julio sighting. He is here.
He's back.
He is live. He is in color.
He is back.
Just look in his eyes and what you see.
As I finish sharing the podcast onto
Andrew said I was honored to witness history by one of the most elite. Yeah, that was a hell of a game, dude.
That was a great game to be at live.
See 2 solos and a grand slam.
Pretty cool.
I hope that's just the beginning of what he's about to start doing because I put money down for him to be MVP. So
Harper ended his drought because he was 0
what
for
a way
11.
to end the drought.
He was 0 for 11 going up yesterday against the Cincinnati Reds. Tonight is the tiebreaker, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Right? The 3-game set before most of our teams have off. Now, the players themselves were pushing to get this game done today because they were not trying to have to play tomorrow.
I get it.
The scheduled off day for most of the teams in the league. Not to mention, Philly still has to travel to Washington to take on the Nationals. So even on your off day, you might spend half of it, traveling and having to deal with all that. And the other postponements around the league probably screwed up the entire rotation as far as games and having to make up 3 games now. From the
Pirates' undefeated streak's
weather.
looking a little vulnerable right now.
Going up against Washington right now, currently down 5-3 to the Washington Nationals. Spunky little Washington Nationals team. You've got the Marlins who haven't won a game yet. And here are the Nationals with like 2 or 3 wins under their belt. I know none of us expect anything from them, but, good for them to, have something. You got as many wins as the Phillies at this point.
Yeah. Before the game, they showed Bryce Harper's stats during warm-ups. It was straight zeros and showed his face shaking his head. That was the motivation he needed.
Yeah,
sometimes for a true big-time player, that's what they need to see sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's just not Bryce Harper. It's the Aaron Judges. It's, the Mike Trouts. They go through these spells, and All it takes is one good night, and they're back to normal.
Well, Aaron Judge had a great day. He had a 2-run bomb early in the game, and then he follows that up with a double RBI. RBI double, I should say. So he definitely made up for it and came up big for us to close out a very annoying series against the pesky Diamondbacks, who
Spider-Man reveal destroyed. Then we had the Phillies game last night.
Spider-Man was there. Drewski was there. Little Jimmy was in the house. It was just it was a party. It was a party last night. And now, from the sound of it, a lot of the fans who were waiting around all day for the game probably left. They're saying that the stadium's pretty empty for the matchup tonight. It's shitty weather for a game, but nonetheless, it's happening. Hopefully.
Yo, I would go now. If I knew it was going to play, I'd have drove there and we just bought tickets and just sat wherever we wanted.
Cheap, bro. Cheap beer, cheap tickets.
But to go back about the Pirates, I kind of expected they were going to be good this year. They have a lot of young talent, and if some of that talent stays healthy, like
they were decent last year.
They could push for a wild card spot. They could be the Miami Marlins. You know how the Marlins made the playoffs last year. Well, for the Pirates, that could be the Pirates, and that's a big step
for the Pirates. That's been their ceiling for the longest. Pushing for that wild card spot.
Got to get that wild card.
Hoping they can carry some of that April momentum into the summertime.
O'Neal Cruz, Kevon Hayes, Brian Reynolds. It's not like they don't have players.
Oh, no, they got players.
Mitch Keller, Bernard, and not to mention Skeens, who's in the minors, who I expect to be called up soon. I don't know why they're waiting to bring that kid up.
So it's safe to say that your mom is living her best
She's
life.
She's cloud 9 right now. I'm pretty sure.
Loving her team.
I'm pretty sure my mother is excited.
Does she have the jerseys?
Nah, she has a shirt. I got her O'Neal Cruz shirt.
So now that, like, knowing your father and him being a hardcore Phillies fan and her being a Pirates fan, like, is it like, do they tend to watch more Phillies games and she's like tracking what the Pirates are doing, or is it like there's like a split?
My dad takes control of TV.
Okay, that makes sense.
If my mom wants to watch the Pirates game, she has to, because I believe they buy extra innings.
Okay.
So
that's sweet. So she doesn't have to miss out.
Yeah, so she watches all the Pittsburgh games, and then if she's up late, she also watches the Angels games to see Mike Trout. I will say that about my mom.
That's cool.
But my mom will watch the games in the room, or if my dad's not feeling like he's lazy or he's got like a little slight headache, he'll lay down in the room and put the Phillies game on.
Right.
But I could,
I was curious. I was like, how does that?
He wasn't too excited about Brogdon the other night. Let's just put it like that.
I mean, can you blame him?
He hasn't liked Connor Brogdon in a long time either.
Dude, and a game so tight to all of a sudden go from that to a grand slam is absurd.
It's
absurd.
There's no excuse. There's no reasoning for that.
He got sent down. He's with the Iron Pigs, or what are they?
I knew it was coming, bro.
They sent his ass out, dude.
Look at the kid they had yesterday. You heard the story about the kid they used yesterday? I forget what his name is. That's how you know he's just a kid from the minors. They couldn't fly him out because there's no flights. So this kid drove from Scranton, Wilkes-Barre 8 hours to get to. He got to the game just about 2 hours before game time. So then to get ready and then just to be called on just in case. And you know what? Kudos to the kid because he pitched 4 innings of solid ball.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
This bullpen is going to be the weak. Who's the closer?
You don't have a closer. The Phillies have no closer.
Closing by committee.
And they're all blowing leads. I mean, you need to keep scoring like you did yesterday, so you don't have to worry about the closer.
Yeah,
score 10 runs and don't worry about anybody closing.
Alvarado, you don't know if you're getting good Alvarado or bad Alvarado.
Alvarado's an 8th inning pitcher. He's a setup guy.
Yeah, he's not a closer.
You have setup guys who you're trying to get to
Dominguez, they try to make a closer, and he's another setup guy. We have a bunch of setup guys and no closer.
Speaking of closing out, Caleb Ferguson closing out strong for the Yankees today.
I am so sick and tired of 6-1. I've seen it 3 times on my screen. You don't need to keep reminding me.
6-1, baby. Keep telling them because they hate to see it. Nonetheless, Clay Holmes was trying to make sure that we went 5-2 because he was out there throwing garbage, had the bases loaded out there in a game where we just had to get the hell out of Arizona. Yankees fans took over the stadium. Ferguson with the strong closeout. We are a formidable opponent, pushing through, sweeping the Stros, taking 2 out of 3 from the Arizona Diamondbacks, and now getting set to have our first home opener taking on Toronto starting on Friday, with tomorrow being a big off day around the league. Friday is when everybody jumps back in, and it's also the final weekend leading up to the results for the week 1 matchups in the Sandlot Baseball Association. So, like, you're hoping to take momentum and keep it on your side.
I'm a big Ranger Suarez guy. I think Ranger Suarez is the unsung hero of that group. And I think Ranger Suarez on any other team would be a solid number 2. But with Nola, I think he's better than Nola at this point. That's just me.
Oof.
I get sick of Nola's hot and cold ass.
Spicy.
When 9 times out of 10 Rangers play, when he's healthy, he's amazing. And he reminds me of Jamie Moyer. It's like junk, fastball, get you. And I love it.
Sawinski, the guy that takes off every single day. He's in the game right now for the Pirates, and he got me a home run. He finally did something. So now I'm only down 7 home runs.
I'm going to ban Yankees talk on the podcast.
This is Sawinski. This is a Pirate. Oh,
no.
Hey, I just heard my Yankees are 6-1. Did you guys hear that? Just let them. Just keep reminding them. Just keep reminding them in case they forget.
Censorship in here
because this is one of the hottest starts that we've had.
I will censor this podcast,
and I am absolutely loving it going into the day off. Absolutely,
we got a limp by Suzuki.
Cubs are another team that's starting out pretty good. Kansas City Royals are a surprise. They've been giving the Baltimore Orioles fits. Baltimore is a heavy favorite heading into this season. As far as the AL East goes, and this series,
Spencer Strider pitch more than.
Well, he was supposed to pitch today. It got postponed, so hopefully Strider.
I wonder if they let him pitch
tomorrow against the White Sox, unless they skip over him. I'm not really sure. Like it's one of those funny things that you're going to notice through playing fantasy baseball, where the rotation. Sometimes you might see a guy slated to start one day and they push him back a day. Like I had Tyler Glasnow slated to start last night. He didn't start. He's going to end up starting tonight at 10-something when the Dodgers take on I think it's the Giants, if I'm not mistaken. So that's the, West Coast.
It feels like forever since Yamamoto pitched. Like, damn.
You've got him slated to go tomorrow or the day after.
Mm-hmm.
If I think it's the day after you have him going. So
counting on some strikeouts. Can I get a quality start from somebody, please?
It's been tough, bro.
Like Luis Castillo, bro. You're killing me, dog.
It has been tough.
You were an ace last year, and you're just killing me.
So what are your biggest takeaways from the first week of fantasy baseball? Same question to everybody who's in the Sandlot Baseball Association right now that's checked in, watching us. Like, what are some of your biggest takeaways from fantasy baseball? Like, what's something that stands out to you and something that you've picked up now that the games are actually underway?
That I got to do this every day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you do.
Every day.
Dedication.
When I'm on the John, that's when I do my thinking in the morning. As soon as I wake up, I say, you know what? Let me try to get this in real quick. Then at 12 o'clock when I go on lunch, right before I come back from break, let me look at my lineup, see if anything changed. Then when I get home about 6:30, I got to look up because the 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock games start.
Things change
rapidly. What happened here?
Things change rapidly, bro. That's one thing that you would definitely
Have you seen
learn.
the Mets schedule after this homestand? It's brutal. No, I haven't, but I expect the Mets just to be bad.
Well, Frank the Tank predicted.
Oscar took the words out of my mouth, especially today with so many early games. Bro, you're constantly looking at least football, bro. I'll look at it one day. I'll look at it Monday and be like, we'll see.
You got to worry about Thursday, Sunday.
Because Tuesday, I'm not worried. Mondays and Tuesdays, I'm not worried about putting a lineup because Monday my lineup's already in for those Monday night games.
Yeah.
Tuesday, I'm looking at waiver wires, so I know what I'm going to get Wednesday. And then Thursday, I'm contemplating, am I going to start players on Thursday? Because Thursday games are a flip of the coin.
Monday and Tuesday,
a player can go off or a player can just shit the bed.
Monday and Tuesday are cleanup days, waiver wire, like you said, and then on Wednesday.
Then Fridays and Saturday, you're just like, okay.
Waivers are very crucial in this league.
It's Saturday night when you're going to bed at 9, 10 o'clock, you're looking at your lineup at football, and then you're just saying, this is it. But then you wake up Sunday morning, you go,
Sunday morning is the critical. That's that critical.
Baseball, it's every single day.
When you leave yourself too much time on Sunday mornings, you give yourself enough time to.
I had to hurry up and pick a hitter up today to put in my lineup with everybody that was off today. Mm-hmm. Then I had too many pitchers. I said, I'm not cutting any of my pitchers because they're all good, and I know they're struggling right now, but they're going to get it together.
And this is an even more crucial week as far as waivers go because there are a ton of gems still out there, like guys who have pitched their ass off the last couple of days still on waivers, where we still have to make those decisions as far as who we get rid of, who we keep. And right now, the Orioles
just took the lead.
Orioles, that's a walk-off.
Oh, they
Orioles
won
with the walk-off to end the game. Orioles beat the Kansas City Royals, walk it off on them again after the 2-run bomb they hit to walk off on the Kansas City. So a great series between those two ball clubs. Kansas City looking like a team that's going to be scrappy, competitive, pesky, dare I say.
I hate that word.
But yeah, man, it's definitely fun. And that waiver wire, like I have one ad left, and I am trying to use it to the best of my discretion because I've just got one left. The waivers reset themselves. So on Monday, you get a full set of 10 waivers.
And the Phillies are losing 2-0 already.
Shit. Who got the hits? So definitely very interesting. And you'll find that for me anyway, I felt as though the waiver wire was more beneficial than like a lot of trades in some instances because there's so much talent.
And Encarnacion Strand hit a double. 2 RBIs.
Nice. I love it.
Damn.
I love it.
Bryce is 1 for 1 today.
So he's feeling it. Maybe he'll get some help from the others.
Damn, poor Zach Wheeler.
I have too many outfielders / pitchers,
shit,
and I
those
feel the
runs
same.
weren't
The season
earned.
is super young. I'm giving everyone a chance
You
to find
heard?
out who's my true starters. I can take a few L's before I make crucial decisions. I'm running through my pitching rotation for the second time this week and looking more or less at these guys and what the consistency meter is going to be and who my starters are, basically, like you.
So let me also check out. See, I also have to check out something else.
Supreme Baller Society.
Yes.
He's in the championship, ladies and gentlemen. It is Terrell against Oscar in the Supreme Baller Society Championship. Looking at the play right now where the Reds scored, and it's looking like India came in, Strand brought him in. Right now, Cincinnati Reds are up 2-0, so congrats. You waited 8 hours to
Come on, Hachimura. Give me some points.
I bet Hachimura straight up on points today.
He has 11 points, 4 boards, and a block.
Nice.
Make that 13 points.
Nice. I need Abdia to get some assists here for my little parlay I got going on. Bet heavy tonight with so much going on. It's a full slate of all-day baseball, full slate of basketball, but NBA didn't kick off until about 7:10. So just a very, very, very active day in the sports world, not to mention in the NFL, a trade went down. And it's time for us to explore all angles of this trade because it's a football team that we have been trying to figure out since they got eliminated from the playoffs. A team that, you know, a couple years ago on the podcast, we said to ourselves was going to not only run away with their division, but potentially run away with the AFC and be the number one contender to take out the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, Chris Jacoby.
Royals bullpen strikes again and blows a 3-0 lead in the top of the 8th. Bro, you guys have been competitive as hell with a good Baltimore Orioles team, though. Like, all of your games have been, like, close. You've been giving their pitchers some problems. Like, I had Burns in fantasy baseball today start. He only had 3 strikeouts, and he only pitched 5.2 innings, so I didn't get the quality start because he didn't get that last out in the 6th.
Oh, so you need 6 innings
You
for
need
a quality start.
6 innings and less than 3 runs allowed, and you'll get the quality start. You may not get a win all the time, but you can get a quality start without getting a win. That's
a ball.
So, I mean, I'd be excited, honestly, for you and for the Royals. I've got Bobby Witt on my fantasy team, too, and that guy he's electric, bro. Like, dude makes things happen. I think he went, like, 2 for 4 today. Got a run in, if I'm not mistaken. Like, very happy with my first
Yo, did
round
this
pick.
guy just swing? Wow. That ball was way up there.
Oh, Brian Reynolds is mad as hell. Arguing, getting kicked out. Oh, here we go.
Oh, here we go.
They're fired up. Somebody getting kicked
He went.
out. But yeah, man. Chris, now that we've got you in here, what do you think about the trade, bro? Stephon Diggs to the Texans for a 2025 second rounder. When you first saw that trade happen, what was your initial reaction to it? I want to know every AFC fan's initial reaction to that trade.
First off, you traded him within the division, which is completely
within
stupid.
the conference.
Yeah, within the conference.
Like
the AFC conference, which
the Texans are now better than you. The Texans are going to have a better record than the
How
Bills.
else can I say? they also, they're not getting their draft pick for him until next year's draft.
2025 second.
And didn't they give the Texans 2 7th-rounders too with him?
Yeah, they gave a 6th and a 7th. So you got 2 picks on top of Stefan Diggs. Like, did you guys just get fleeced? Is that what just happened today? Does anybody know for sure?
To also bring out matters, this just happened last night. And Adam
tweet?
Schefter
here
it started with Robert Woods.
Good stuff.
Robert Griffin, I'm sorry. Is Stefan Diggs essential to Josh Allen's success? He has been since he got to Buffalo in 2020. They are better together, and if Stefan Diggs and Josh Allen stay together with the Buffalo Bills, this year their championship window is wide open. Here's what I guess a common fan say. Does Josh benefit from having a top-tier receiver? Yes. Is he essential to a success? The scroll on the bottom it doesn't allow you to see what Diggs responds with, but what Diggs says is, are you sure about that?
Dude. We see the blow-ups on the sidelines after the eliminations.
In less than 12 hours from when that tweet takes place, maybe Diggs already knew what it was coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah, at that point, the night before, and it's just like, what do I have to lose? Like,
so, and
that's his way of throwing
Adam Schefter reposted this whole Twitter thing. Oh, Johan should get the first on that, yeah. Anyway, so it's big. So this is a big loss for a team that has Super Bowl aspirations. Oh, here we go. I can't see who said this, man. Oh, it's Chris Jacoby. My first reaction was I radioed my boss, a Bills fan, and told him how it felt to have Curtis Samuel being the number one. I feel like it's a locker room issue. The move doesn't help them anyway, and I feel like Diggs is a drama queen.
They were trying to,
in my opinion, it was a move to have a better leader.
They were trying to get rid of him. It was becoming toxic out there. This, on top of the tweet, on top of the blow-ups that were happening on the sidelines every time things weren't going right, it just all leads me to believe that the Bills basically got what they could, and credit to the Houston Texans and any other team that was in the running. The fact that it only cost you a second rounder for next season.
And hey, if you only have them for a year and you decide to part ways with them, oh well, you just opened your Super Bowl window drastically.
With everything that's going on right now in Houston and how everything is just
and I'm pretty sure
them,
Diggs
huge.
It appears Diggs lasts like three to 4 years a team. So if you could keep this guy for 3 years before he starts doing this again.
And I mean, what a great situation for him to go
in 3 years, you don't got to worry about paying Stroud for another 4.
And you're going into a new situation. You're going into a young group that just took the South. New things are happening in Houston. You've got your young quarterback. You've got the receivers out there. You've got Joe Mixon. You got a defense where they took Tierra Tart and Danico Archery from us to add them to the group that they had there. I mean, damn, like you've got to be super excited if you're going into the draft right now, as far as the Texans, saying to yourself, like, okay, like what do we need to tackle now in the draft? Our wide receivers are locked in. Tank Dell, Nico Collins, Stefan Diggs, a bunch of players that you really don't have to worry about paying for right now. You paid nothing for Stefan Diggs that you have to worry about as far as draft capital for this year. And guess what? You're going to win more games than the Buffalo Bills and potentially win the South again with a team that, barring any catastrophic injury, like, and this is a fresh start for Stefan Diggs, who seems to be coming out of a very stale situation in Buffalo, where they currently, with this move, had to eat about $31 million in dead cap, which is the highest cap hit for any wide receiver in NFL history. That was today from the Bills. And their GM, their front office, coming out and saying, this is not us waving the white flag. We are still competing. Don't let the things that we're doing fool you. We're still trying, which is one of those things where, yeah, maybe you are. Maybe you're not trying to lose out on ticket sales for the season. You're not trying to lose out on the extra shovels when you need fans to come out and dig you out of the hole when it's snowing too hard. To me, bro, you don't send the guy like that into the waiting arms of a rival within the conference who is up and coming. Like, everything is in favor of Houston right now. And you make a move like this.
Oh, wow. They can cut him after this year if it doesn't work.
Because it wouldn't cost them
And
as
it
much
won't cost no dead money for them.
Wow.
The Texans are off the hook for any type of dead money.
But to me, at this point, why wouldn't it work? Like you're going to play with a young quarterback, a new system, a new team.
You know that the Bills, with this move, they lost salary cap space?
Yeah. They gained nothing. And you gave up 2 picks on top of giving up Stephon Diggs.
That's... Chris said Will Smith is a bum. We could put Mindy out there, Elon, and have success over this guy. Threw 3 straight pitches down the middle. Like, where are these guys coming from? Tebow, the Royals need someone better.
You guys in the Phillies need a closer. You both need the same thing.
And the other Chris, Jets Chris, I know the Bills were captured, but geez to the whole move.
Yeah.
And to this tweet being the reaction for it, sorry, I took it as him calling out the guy saying, do you really think Allen's something without him? And I believe that, that's what I agree. We're going to find out. Are we getting 2020, 2019 Josh Allen?
That was rough. That was a rough watch. Does everybody remember Josh Allen before Stephon Diggs? Because I do, and it wasn't pretty. And when you list that wide receiver room right now, we were having a conversation in the baseball chat. Who has the better wide receiver room, the Giants or the Bills? I don't know.
They're all slot receivers.
I don't know.
They all have nothing but slot receivers.
Guys right now running around, running their slot routes.
So, they also lost Gabe Davis.
Yeah.
It's not like you lose Diggs and Gabe Davis is there. Even though we make fun of Davis, maybe Davis will thrive without
he'd be looking pretty good right now if Diggs wasn't there.
Yeah,
we'd be shining.
So that just tells you Buffalo's got to be in a trade to move up to go grab one of these top receivers. Roma Dunze, Bobby Thomas Jr.
It's the only thing that makes sense about a team that hasn't made sense this entire offseason with all the moves that they made. The only thing
I don't know what they're doing. Their window, and everybody keeps saying, "Oh, Josh Allen." Like Dave Portnoy is a New England fan, and he's like, "As long as Allen's there, their window's open."
Bro,
you need pieces around you too.
The Buffalo Bills right now are the Incredible Hulk when he was on the jet, and Black Widow was trying to get him to land the plane, and he just turns off the thing, and he's just on the jet. That's like, you don't know where it's going to crash and land. You know eventually it's going to crash, and that is the Buffalo Bills right now because you really can't track what they're doing. The only thing that literally makes sense for them to do would be to trade up for a wide receiver.
Magoo, Bills just became the third best team in that division.
Bro,
I agree.
I mean, it's going to be competitive as hell over there this year. It's not going to be a cakewalk. The Patriots are only going to be down for so long.
Draymond Green of the NBA said the Bills are done after this trade.
I sure everyone's worst KC in this combo. I feel like they ain't make much of a difference from last year.
And it's about to get even murkier.
Rashee Rice is in trouble, dog.
Yeah.
That's
the wide receiver room is about to get even murkier
he's
in Kansas City. I don't see that guy surviving.
Is he still on the run?
Finally turned himself in the other day.
Because that's
just like Cam Sutton, he finally turned himself in to Florida police. But get this, Cam Sutton's charges were all dropped to 1 misdemeanor.
Kansas City's going to miss out on the top wide receiver names, even though it's a draft.
Well, they're the last pick in the draft.
They could get a good one, but I don't even think they'd go for a wide receiver.
Nope.
Knowing them, like they're not looking at that.
I can see them getting a cornerback.
They need one now.
Yeah,
they definitely need one.
I don't understand this whole Buffalo move.
No,
I don't buy that, Chris. Kansas City's not going anywhere.
It's the toxicity. It has to be we have to get rid of this guy because we're not going to we know Josh Allen is our guy. We know that we have a star wide receiver here that is not seeing eye to eye with our guy who we're going to build around. So maybe it's like we're not tanking, but we're kind of taking a year off until we figure things out. But can you afford to do that? How much time do you think you have as far as your job security goes to be able to take a year off where we're literally talking about a football team that's closing their own window before anybody else could?
I don't know what they're doing.
You close your own window faster than I've seen anybody do it. It's crazy.
So Chris is saying it wasn't Rice, but he's going to get in trouble for having someone drive it when he was the only one supposed to be driving it. I don't know what's going on with these kids. You're making all this money, like, stay home.
Don't be stupid.
Yeah.
Don't be stupid.
I all I can say is with Buffalo, I anticipate the New York Jets, as long as Aaron Rodgers is freaking Real Muto just dropped that. Are you kidding me?
Philly's in form right now.
Anyway,
they're thinking about that day off tomorrow.
The Jets are a healthy. They're a healthy Aaron Rodgers away from being a formidable foe. They found a way to get their defensive pass rush back by trading last week for Hassan Reddick, which I think Hassan Reddick is a better ball player than Bryce Huff. So, to me, that trade works in the favor of the Jets. So then you got Miami, and Miami's not going nowhere. Their offense is still going to keep putting up 30 plus a game, like 28 plus a game. They're still going to be in that 27 to 32 point range every game. And hopefully, their defense was all beat up near the end of the year. They're going to be healthy again this year. So I'm looking at those two teams battling it out for the East. And I do think Buffalo's going to be fighting for the 7th seed.
Yeah. Because I can't see, like, where even if they go draft themselves a rookie wide receiver, like, that becomes your wide receiver one. You have to be able to have the chemistry with them. Oh, and you need a whole bunch of other pieces as far as the defensive side of the football. So, like, are you focusing on defense after getting a wide receiver? Are you going defense first and saying screw the wide receiver position? Because
that's a good point too, Chris. Buffalo hasn't been the same since the 13-2 loss.
That was the beginning of their regression.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is their own doing, like with the choices that they're making. It's just a bunch of questionable decisions as far as, like, they're not saving any money doing any of these moves. Like, today they cost themselves money with this move. And I get it if you're trying to get a toxic situation out of the room, but, like, okay, what's your solution now? Rookie wide receiver, and you have to hit on your draft picks. It's not just about drafting for the Bills. Like, your draft picks you need to hit on your picks, because if you draft busts to this football team, like, you're not making the playoffs. You're going to be in the wild card race, and you're going to miss that because the AFC is reloading. Everybody across the board on the AFC side is reloading, including your partners in the AFC East who are looking to, improve. The Dolphins are going to win regular season games. We know that when it gets cold, they get cold, but they're going to be a problem.
They're going to win enough games during, September, October, middle of November to where they're a playoff team.
This is going to be the first look that we get at the new Jets with Aaron Rodgers healthy. Patriots are going to be a sneaky team that can come in there, win 7 to 8 games, and just make life difficult for you if you're not prepared. And, like, I, at this point, wouldn't be surprised if we're saying the same thing about Buffalo as far as how many games they can pull off. If we see the old Josh Allen, forget about it. Like, there's no way.
We're going to lose a lot of games if it's the old Josh
And
Allen.
then it's the next question would be, is this something that you can fix in a year? I don't know. Like, again, there's another.
Let me see their salary cap situation.
It's just another. I mean, they're competing with the Saints, and I know it's not that bad, but I'm just thinking, like, as far as, like, the money that they're piling up and burning, like Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight.
Chris, I have been saying this constantly. Allen has been a fraud. It was a team around him ever since they had that crazy team number 1 defense. And I believe 3rd over offense over the years. They've been losing people, and the Bills have slowly changed. I got crazy pushback in a couple groups last summer when I agree with the comparison of Josh Allen and Dak Prescott.
You guys were two of the first people.
People were going crazy on me, talking about Josh wins in the playoffs. Josh wins. No, he chokes just as much, and he does the same dumbfounded interceptions that Dak does. Josh would do.
You guys were two of the first voices that were bringing that up in conversations that we were having on the
Josh
podcast.
Prescott.
Like, we were having these conversations about him, especially, like, they fall short and we talk about them. Like, what's wrong with the Bills? Like, what's going on? And we're still asking ourselves that question. But at the time, we didn't imagine, like, it's a difference between getting eliminated in the playoffs and feeling like a team's window is closing, which is how this feels right now. Like, for a couple years, it was like, oh, the Bills will be back. They'll figure it out. They'll be back in the mix. Now looking at it, 2 losses to Kansas City, Who else beat them in the playoffs? The Bengals beat
The
them.
Bengals bludgeoned them.
Went
into Buffalo and whooped their ass. They outplayed them. They were more physical than them. That game was in the snow.
Kansas City beat them again this year, right?
Yeah.
So Kansas
Allen
City owns
fell
them.
short again.
Burrow owns them.
Everybody blamed Diggs for running a route, but it was Josh Allen who, instead of taking the deep shot, should have took the crosser over the middle.
The crosser over the middle. That was epic, man. And then who knows if TJ Watt is playing in that game? Who knows? Because not for nothing, the Steelers made it more competitive than I thought it would be.
It was a one-score game.
Listen,
I mean, I know I'm a Steelers fan, and everything can be taken with a grain of salt when I start getting crazy. But the truth of the matter, and when I got Alex to listen to me, okay, then I know I'm on the sun. When that score becomes, 24-17? If TJ Watt's in the building, the Bills are already starting to feel the pressure. The camera was panning to the sideline when the Steelers made it a 1-second game. You could see their faces on the side. The Bills were like, whoa.
The Bills were trying to give that game up.
If TJ Watt plays, are you telling me that he doesn't make a significant play in the next drive to, like,
dude,
a sack, a strip fumble?
What was that kid's name? The Dolphins' backup quarterback that took him the
Skylar
Thompson, 34-31 against Skylar Thompson the previous year. Like, have we forgotten?
What are we doing, bro?
He and the Bills just make everything harder than it needs to be. And this is just another example. So if your big move is to draft a wide receiver, that's good for you. You need one anyway. But that's
so right now the Bills are $7 million. I don't know if this has been updated. $7 million in cap space.
$7 million.
Titans still got $30 million.
Yeah, we got money.
Next year you'll have 50. We
just need to allocate it responsibly.
The Bills next year will $44,000 under the cap.
The whole drive was terrible. You can see they played the time out for themselves because they were scared of 13 seconds. They let the Bills are really good at letting all their intrusive thoughts win, man.
Newsflash: here's a spoiler alert for about the Saints and the cap next year. They again will be over the cap, $73 million next year. I figured you would like me to say that.
It just that's a wild team, man. Where's your money? Where is your money? I know what you paid Carr. I get it. But where is your money?
Oh, bro? Shit! Who hit a home run?
Who's that?
Who is that?
Somebody just smacked it out of the. Who is that?
Mark?
Is that Alvarez?
No.
Say his name.
That's the big dude.
Yordan Alvarez with the home run, baby. I called it. Cash out.
Oh wait,
that's like $20 bucks. No, I put a bet on him to hit a home run today.
How much did you put down?
5 to win 20.
Good shit.
Cash out. Let's go, Yordan Alvarez. Cha-ching. Yes.
Those are the only games we should be betting home runs are in dome games.
Green bean.
I've been getting just.
What does a bean mean?
I've been just getting red stop signs.
I love it.
But yeah, the whole Josh Allen thing, I'm tired of people calling him elite. He's a good quarterback, but he's not in the echelon. He's not in that top tier.
I mean, this past season, regular season, Josh Allen wasn't that amazing.
Great.
As far as elite goes,
I think they're going to take the ball out of his hands more and run the ball more with James Cook.
Well, that's your most valuable player on the offensive side now, as far as your pass catching weapons. Who else is it?
Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid, bro. The two tight ends set. They run in the Gronk Hernandez set.
Oh my goodness, it's going to be so easy to figure this team out. There's nobody that's opening up the top of the field for you guys. There's nobody.
And, and then you look at this, what this has on the wide receiver market. This kind of hurt the 49ers, this deal.
Oh, it was to win 17. Just hasn't. You haven't given it to me yet.
It's
$5 though.
It's $12 more than what you had.
Woo! That feels so good to hit a home run prop, baby.
Maybe they could switch Hamlin to wide receiver since people said he should have been MVP. Oof.
Hamlin, man.
Enough. But like I said, this deal also has ramifications for the 49ers and the whole Ayuk situation, because rumors came out last week that, we're not trading. We're going to work on a deal. Then another rumor just came out that they are very far apart on contract talks. So now if they thought about trading him, like this is the parameters of a trade probably now. Well, a smart team that's going to be involved is going to know like, hey, Stephon Diggs is a top 5 wide receiver in this league. And all it took was a 2025 second round pick.
Yeah.
Why am I going to give you a first round pick for Brandon Ayuk, who's probably he's a top 10 receiver, possibly, maybe top 15? There's no way.
You don't have to. There's no there's no leverage.
Yeah, so now the asking price for Ayuk should be a second round pick.
Because the teams like the Bills just screwing things up.
It's the same thing when the Jaguars paid Christian Kirk 2 years ago, when they broke the bank for a guy who had never had a 1,000-yard season. However, Christian Kirk since then has proved that he earned his money because he's had a 1,000-yard season. He's been making big plays.
But if you're a wide receiver who was better than Christian Kirk up until this entire time, then you're cashing in on the fact that he got paid what he got paid, and now you're asking management, okay, what are you going to give me? I cracked 1,000. I do it every year. This guy hasn't done it, and he's getting – how much did he get? If you don't pay me, somebody's going to pay me.
You know what I read about, and I'm talking about 1,000 yards every season. Mike Evans, I found out the reason why he signed and took that kind of deal with Tampa instead of going out and breaking the bank is his wife didn't want to move. His wife pretty much told him, like, our kids are here, we're here, I don't want to leave.
It's nice living out there, bro. That's where everybody goes.
And he obliged.
Florida life.
Once the wife said that, he went and made sure he got at least what he was worth. And I thought the deal he signed with Tampa earlier last month was a great move.
It was good for him. It was good for them. It was a deal that made sense. And, you know, for a team that is looking to compete to win that division again, you know, because we know what the Falcons have improved, but that just means that it's a 2-team race now because we don't really know too much about
25 days, day one of the draft. You know,
yeah,
teams are going to be – so you're probably not going to see a lot of free agent signings from here till then. Maybe some trades, but I think a lot of these free agents aren't going anywhere until after the draft is over at the end of the month. I think guys like Tyler Boyd, Justin Simmons, Patrick Peterson, you know, a couple of really good names that are still out there aren't going to be signed until after the draft when teams figure out, like, who they didn't draft to be the future, and then they can bring somebody in.
Yeah.
That's how I think that's going to play out.
Yeah, that's going to be the last-minute fill-ins as far as the gaps through free agency, the draft itself, post-draft, and that little bit of a firestorm that happens as far as free agency goes once the draft is done. But, like, I feel like I can't look around the draft because there's so many questions for so many teams. We now have 8 or 9 teams that we think are going to be trading up to move up into that upper realm
I still
of the
think
draft
the first
to go
3
get
picks
their
are
guy.
quarterbacks.
In a row? First 3? Is that the official money
I'm leaning
mock?
towards it. Damn, that was almost a hell of a play.
That's interesting, man. Because
I feel like it's going to be
like knowing
Caleb,
you're taking that risk.
May, Daniels.
Like knowing you're
I know no
taking
matter
that
what,
risk.
Caleb Williams is going number 1 overall because the
Yeah.
rumors are already talking about that the Bears are already getting him to talk to certain coaches.
In general, trade values have been very undervalued this offseason. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, it's
so now
weird.
What happens in 2 to 3? It's either going to be May or Daniels or, dare I say, McCarthy. So I think that's what's going to happen. I think Arizona stays put, takes Marvin Harrison Jr., or someone offers, you know, a lot of capital to move up in the 4th spot to get one of those other guys, whoever doesn't get picked out of that threesome of Daniels, McCarthy, and May. Maybe they move up and take Arizona's spot, which could most likely be the Minnesota Vikings using both of their picks to jump up with that 1 pick that they acquired from the Houston Texans.
When you think about it, they have to. Their level of urgency has to be just as much as any other.
And Jetta has already said that he was already offered a very beautiful extension, but his whole thing is who's going to be the quarterback. So maybe he's also looking to see how that goes.
Yeah. He already put the pressure on him just by asking that question. Like, what are we doing here? Basically, it's like your top employee coming up to you, and
there's
it's
nothing
like,
wrong with that.
What's going on now?
He was picked in the 2020 draft, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So he's playing on his 5th-year option right now. So technically speaking, after this season, the Vikings can only hold on to him for 2 more seasons. Because you could tag him twice. But that first tag's $22.5 million. The second tag would be like almost damn near $40 million. So he's not going to get tagged the second time. I could put money on that. So he's probably tied to them for next year too. And then after that, he's going to be the big fish that you want to reel out there and reel him in.
You got to reel him in.
So there's a lot of questions. I think 4 quarterbacks are going to be picked in the top 10 this year, which helps teams who are not looking for a quarterback to get quality players that are good.
The gems
that
drop.
means 4 of these top players in this draft coming up that should be of top 10 picks are going to move into the later stages.
Which is why the Cardinals should easily get Marvin Harrison. It's a move that makes sense.
Listen, Marvin Harrison, Roma Dunez, Brian Thomas Jr. Those are 3 names right there that could go in the first round.
Neighbors.
You have Neighbors, who he's another guy that's going to be really good. Not to mention, the offensive linemen in the draft, Fuatu,
Shano from Penn State.
There are players there, man.
As we get closer to draft time, I'm starting to feed into the conspiracy of the Giants getting a quarterback.
But who?
Like, the thing is,
you would have to move up even more.
Just think about their situation, though. If you already know that Danny Dimes is on a short leash, right? And you already know that Drew Lock is not the answer long term, you got to go get a quarterback.
You want to hear what I think?
Having this information should be an advantage for you.
I said this to Alexi, and I'm going to stand by it. I don't think the Giants pick a quarterback. I think they're going to wait for another Manning to enter that draft and be the quarterback of the New York Giants, and that's Archie Manning.
You think?
When he comes out, I think they're going to go after him. I don't see them picking a quarterback. If I were the Giants, I wouldn't pick a quarterback in this draft because you're getting a similar quarterback in Daniel Jones in my eyes. I think you just ride it out, and if you suck again, oh well. Build your team through other positions.
If you suck again, oh well. Tough titties.
Yeah. Continue to build your trenches so that when the time comes, you get your quarterback and your trenches are built.
Do you think
Chris thinks they're going wide receiver? Alex has told me, how Alex is, you get receivers in the second round.
Yes, you can.
Alex has stated that if Marvin Harrison Jr. was the pick, he would not be mad at it. And we got an error.
I don't think it's going to be him.
Top of the 9th.
I don't see him.
One out and one on.
I see him being the first wide receiver off the board. And by the time the Giants draft, unless they trade up, I don't think he'll be on the board. And if you trade up, are you trading up for Marvin Harrison? Or are you trading up to make that move at quarterback? And if it's a quarterback, if it's anybody besides Jaden Daniels, it's the wrong answer, bro. It is the wrong answer.
You know who I wouldn't mind drafting in the later rounds if he's there?
Who?
Is Travis from Florida State, whose season ended on that ACL. Remember, he was looking like he was going to be the Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Nick Castellanos up to bat with no outs in the bottom of the 5th.
Do you have more or less a picture?
The Pirates got a man on second.
Do you have a picture in your mind as far as the mock draft that you're going to be putting in place for this year?
Well,
I think we get Neighbors or Adonze, but I want Joe Alt. Me too, man. Like I said in the group chat,
the draft is on the 25th. Oh, I'm sorry. So that means it's closer. It's 22 days, not 25 days. The draft is on a Thursday. The week prior, I won't be here. That 17th, I will not be here. The podcast will still go on. I'll make sure of that. I won't be here, but hopefully Mikey can fill in. If not, you'll be here to give us the show.
We'll figure something out.
So the 25th is the first night, 26th, 27th. So that means The 24th, I will have the mock draft for you guys. O-Money will drop his mock draft April 24th. I'm going to drop
before
that
the draft. So
I'm going to give the whole round. I'm going to give the whole first round. Normally we break it up in halves, but with me going on vacation the week prior, I'm not going to be able to do that. So I'll do it, but I won't go into detail. I'm going to list off my names, and then you stop me, or the audience stops me, and we'll stop and we'll talk about,
break it all down.
what player, like, I'll go top 5. I'll give you the players, and you can tell me, oh, I don't agree. And we'll stop, we'll debate it, and then I'll go back to naming more names. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. So the night before the draft, April 24th, I will drop what is this now going to be? I didn't start doing mock drafts till when? 2018. Because that's when I was giving my mock draft when
Baker Mayfield, Saquon Barkley, and those guys.
Yeah,
right? That was that year.
When I was halfway done my draft, and the Steelers traded Martavis Bryant to the Raiders.
Yeah.
So I've been doing this since the second year of the podcast. Really, the first full year of the podcast. The podcast started in August 2017.
Just weren't putting it on screen like that. You were doing the mocks. We were talking about
Nationals win,
discussing them. But now it's just an official part of what we do. And the fact that it lines up where it's going to be the night before day one of the draft is perfect, because it's going to stay fresh in everybody's minds. It's a way for us to hold ourselves accountable, and a way to just make the draft itself a draft that's already going to be super entertaining, a lot more fun.
I don't see Joe going past number 7. Even with those quarterbacks, I can't see Joe Alt going past number 7.
I'd be highly upset if we passed up on him where we're at. Because again, if you're passing up on him, for what? That will be my next, why? Who was it that we had to go? Yeah. Who? Because if it's between Fasciano and Alt, I'd rather have Alt, and I'd have Fasciano as the, backup prize to not getting Alt. Great value Alt would be Fasciano, Penn State guy. Add him to the group where you got Cushenberry there already. We solidified having a center. Give him help. We paid the wide receiver.
That was a lot of money to give him, boy.
Yeah, but we needed it.
I get it.
We needed it. Our centers were the drizzling, what.
I would have loved to have had him.
We were the
hey, Merrifield, you want to get a hit?
So I'd be excited to compliment him in the trenches.
If the Giants don't take him, he'll be a Titan. Every mock I've seen in the last 2 weeks has been all S7. That's what I believe. I don't see him going past 7.
Just do it. We already have.
Don't see him going past 7.
We have the best cornerback in the game. We have a great cornerback.
And Fuagu, I don't see Fuagu going past 10. Suzuki with a home run. Thank you.
Suzuki, Sandlot Baseball Association.
Yep.
What's going on in your matchup, Chris? It's a big day off tomorrow for a lot of teams, so a lot of you guys are going to see no game next to a lot of the names, and you just got to deal with it, because that's what Thursdays are in the Major League Baseball. We're all going to be going through it. Just hope that whoever you do have playing hits a couple bombs to help out your stats, because it's going to be a slow day for baseball. But what happens is everybody off Thursday, a few teams off Friday, but most of the league playing Friday. Then you have Saturday and Sunday. So this weekend is going to be basically the matchup. This is your matchup this weekend. It all goes down. Whether you have the momentum right now, whether you're trying to pull it back to your side and keep it through the weekend, this is what it's all about. Trying to.
They're showing the Suzuki home run right now on MLB Network.
Ooh, nice. Smacked the shit out of that ball. I think the Rockies are terrible. Every time I look, the Rockies are getting beat by somebody. Diamondbacks hung 16 on them. Cubs beat them yesterday, I'm pretty sure. Cubs are whooping them right now. So it's safe to say the Colorado Rockies are a good team to target for not just fantasy baseball, but for any prop betting going on for baseball. They are slim pickings. Easy pickings, I should say.
Imagine somebody who picked Harper yesterday for 3 home runs on DraftKings.
That's crazy, man.
Wonder what the numbers are. We're on that.
I bet Judge yesterday on a home run, and he hit one today, so that was kind of annoying. Super annoying, bro. But hey, Yordan Alvarez just came through for me. I got my first home run prop of the year. I'm excited about that. I'm gonna make another one tomorrow. That was motivating. That was motivating.
You think you got rid of me? No, you did not.
I love it. I love it.
Here I come.
You know, and just kind of taking my chances with some of the baseball stuff after, you know, digesting so much basketball information and having that for the last 2 months, watching so much basketball, more than I've watched in years, to be able to come up with the right plays, to keep up with Supreme Baller Society, to basically knowing what is coming as far as the playoffs is pretty cool. Yeah. You could have sat anywhere out in Philly tonight.
And they won't care. Some of the ushers are like, go ahead.
Yeah. Been waiting for this game to get done all day. I don't care. What are you going to do? Fire me?
Fire me. I wonder, have they been getting paid this whole time?
I don't know. How's that work?
That's a good question. Do concession stand employees and do the ushers get paid while the game is delayed?
I mean, they had to have been selling drinks this whole time, because if you're chilling out there waiting for the game to start, there's nothing better to do than have a few cold ones. Kick back.
Did they let them in, or did they not open the gate till 6:30?
I don't know. Good question.
It's interesting.
Weird. For a game that was supposed to start at 1 that we're having right now.
Yo, right down the middle. My man, send him back down.
Woo! Who was that?
Rojas. Send him back down.
I dropped him, I think, in one of the teams. I drafted him and dropped his ass.
I don't know. You're a professional baseball player. You don't know how to hit the ball.
Philly's bats not looking the same as they were yesterday. Looking slightly on the colder side. Still plenty of time left. About 4 innings in that matchup, as MLB Strike Zone is taking us all over the league right now and giving us a breakdown of the matchups going on tonight. Damn. What's going on with you? Looking rough there. Supreme Ballers.
The Harrison Barnes win killed me.
Yeah.
I'll take 28 from Hachimura. I wish the game was closer. He finished with 19.7 boards, 1 assist, and 1 block. Did that help you?
I only bet his points, and he got
points?
that. Over 13.5, and he got that already. So I bet that straight up. Didn't parlay it. So he hit his points. Austin Reeves hit his points. So my prop bets are looking pretty good. Just hoping to pick it up as far as my parlays. Philly's gloves looking ugly too. Yeah. Hey, their gloves been looking ugly. Their pitching has been not so great. You know?
What the hell's wrong with Tobias Harris?
Don't let the Bryce bombs fool you. The Phillies pitching has been mid at best. Don't they have Wheeler on the mound tonight?
Yeah.
That's probably why it's still close, 2-0, because he's trying to hold it together, but you know, he needs the run support at some point in time. I don't think Schwarber's been doing much so far this year. Castellanos, I don't know if he's got his shirt unbuttoned or buttoned it back up. Remuto, I'm not sure what he's doing. I haven't seen Marsh do anything since the home run opening day. Maybe Harper will come through again.
Picked up Bo Naylor for nothing. 0 for 4 today.
You know what's crazy? He hit a home run yesterday. I'm pretty sure he did. So you picked him up a day after he does the thing, which is one of those things in baseball with when you're playing. You know, you look at the stat line for the player that week, and you go into it. You put your waiver claim in for that player, and you just don't seem to be getting that version of that player.
Ugh.
Jack Sawinski just saved his spot today with the home run he hit, because I was about to cut his ass. I was tired of the days off. So he comes in, he plays the outfield for the Pirates, a young cat that.
I mean, me and you were still 7-5.
Yeah, it's a battle.
15 home runs my team's hit already.
It's a battle, bro. There's no doubt about it. It's a battle because all the categories are up for grabs, and you have the clear advantage as far as the home runs go. My team does not have the power hitting like that. Now, this could be just this first couple
Somebody
weeks.
changed their team name already?
Yeah, that's Matt.
Plata or Puma?
That's Matt, yeah. He's in a battle right now.
Muddy Waters.
Going at it with Noli.
The King of Crash. Sign the hat.
No, that's Seth right there.
Yep. That man's gotten 5 quality starts, bro.
Seth.
How's Little Jimmy's doing? Oh, Little Jimmy's got the lead right now.
Fighting, bro. Fighting Little Jimmy's are fighting. That's all you can say. You got a nice young scrappy team.
14 home runs.
Damn, bro, you guys are hitting. I need to bust the
Mikey's
move.
got 13 home runs.
because it's one of those things where it's an extended 2 weeks, week one. So it's like you can't fall in love with those
Noli
stats.
got 17 home runs.
You can't fall in love with those stats, but at the same time, the fact that I don't even have 10 home runs yet with an extended week is kind of spooky.
I mean, Terrell's only got 6 home runs.
Yeah. I'm sure he's thinking the same thing I'm thinking. We need bats. We need guys that can.
I know. Chris trying to send me some dumb trade.
I haven't sent
Aaron Judge for Aaron Nola and I forgot the other dud. I just laughed at it and just
he was relying on your Philly fandom.
Yeah, he was
To hit accept on that.
He absolutely was.
He was hoping he could get you. Ooh, nice hit. Oh my goodness, who was that? I thought that was
that's a triple. His slow ass only got this.
Is that Fraley? Yeah, Jake Fraley.
Thanks a lot for playing the outfield.
Castellanos, man. Out there with his hoodie up. Philly's down 2-0 right now. They don't have any pop in their bats just yet.
Damn Reds.
Can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm all for the re-sign of Greinke as a right pitcher. Like, I'm still just annoyed. Who put that?
I think that was Chris.
Hey, man, you got Singers. You got Singer. 3-0. Oh, we're on a delay. That means Ellie De La Cruz must have done something. We're on a delay here. We're watching the double play on MLB Network, the Strike Zone streaming. So we're on a bit of a delay here.
It's not up to Wheeler to do everything, though. Like, damn.
He needs run support. It was 2-0, so it was.
He left the game opening day winning the game.
They blew that.
Yeah.
Cruz with a double. Okay. All right. We haven't seen it yet. It's probably going to be right now.
Yep, there it is.
They are smacking the ball right now. 3-0 Reds as Fraley he jogs in. And the fans.
Hey, Topper, you want to get the bullpen loaded?
Hey, Topper. Hey, Phillies fans. You waited
all
day.
This is all on 2 outs, too.
You waited all day long just to watch the Phillies come out and have a dud of a game so far. But, hey, at least you're going to get your day off.
Chris said I'm talking about a relief pitcher. The bullpen makes me want to close my eyes. It reminds me of the 97 Mariners. Ugh. Those were some bad times.
You guys just need to hope that your starters can give you 7 innings every night. And
that was the Pirates' first loss of the year.
And that Singer is giving you 10 strikeouts per start because he had an awesome opening. But, once you're getting to that 8th inning.
Talking about Rome Dunze, Brian Boldinger thinks he's going to have the biggest impact of all wide receivers.
Dunze?
Yep.
It's one of those players that you're not going to see him again if you pass up on him.
Oh, yeah.
And you know that he's also going to be one of those guys that once Harrison's off the board and once Neighbors is off the board, he's the next logical pick. And, if he goes to a good offense, imagine, we're not really thinking about where the wide receiver 3 could potentially end up and what that could do for that team and who their running back is, who their wide receiver 1 is already. Like, Dunze is really one of those wild card picks. And then from there, everybody after that, you're throwing darts, but there's going to be a ton of talent. There's wide receivers that we're not even mentioning on this podcast who are going to come in. They're going to make a statement. And I'm kind of hoping that at some point in the 2nd or 3rd round, maybe Tennessee.
What are they doing? Giving out donuts?
They're giving
Here we go, guys.
Giving out donuts out in Philly because they're getting their ass beat.
Don't be mad.
Philly got a donut boy. We don't got dollar dogs.
Come on, Wills. Get out of the inning, bro.
We don't got dollar dogs, but what we got is a donut boy. He's going to hand out some eclairs to help you get through the troubles of a rough patch for the Philadelphia Phillies right now. I honestly, Chris, like with some of your relief pitching woes, basically you guys in the Phillies are the same team, different color jerseys. Because their relief pitching is just ridiculous.
MF's been sitting out there since 1 p.m.
just to get their ass beat. That's crazy. Went into the 7th, got an out. They pulled them. They only had to withstand 2 innings and gave it up like they giving up lunch money to a bully. Like, yeah, it's frustrating. Clay Holmes was about to have me super upset. Like, my group chats were super active, like they usually are on days like this, and I was not participating in the talks for a while because I was watching Clay Holmes load up the bases and throw to the ground. And I said it out loud. I was like, get this guy to make sure he gets an out and get him the hell out of the game. The Yankees listened like they have been so far this year.
I was about to say, he had another one?
They brought Ferguson into the game, and Ferguson managed to close it out for us. So it's tough being a reliever, man. You got one job, and when you don't do it right, it looks a whole lot worse. Wheeler ends the inning with a strike. Miguel Garcia gave me a home run today. I'll take it. Nice. Miguel Garcia, Kansas City, right? I think that sounds familiar. I think I had him on my team last year. Pretty sure I did. $9:30 right now. The late basketball game that's going down is the Cleveland Cavaliers taking on the Phoenix Suns. I like a couple of bets in that game. I like Grayson Allen's assists and threes. I like Max Strus's assists and threes. I like Evan Mobley over 13.5 points, which is probably at 14.5 right now. I like KD's over 6.5 rebounds, and I like Darius Garland's over 6.5 assists. And if you're wondering, yes, I bet on all of these things already. So those are some late night picks here at On the Money Sports for the late game going down on ESPN, Cavs versus the Suns. As we slowly wrap up an efficient episode. Oh, God,
I'm just checking to see anything new.
Why are you rubbing your forehead?
Louis Riddick commented on the trade today. You have to tip your hat to Nick Caserio. The Texans are now firmly in the mix to compete with teams like Baltimore and Kansas City.
Great move for the Texans. Absolutely great. I hate them, but it's a great move. Schwarber did something. Call Wawa. Schwarberfest, baby. Get yourself a hoagie, right?
Damn it, put the game back on.
They probably are. They're just on a bit of a delay right now. They're showing the Rock, Colorado, trying to do something here, and they're probably going to go to the Phillies game, and we'll get to see the Schwarber bomb. Is that his first one of the year or second, I think? I think it's his second.
Uh-huh.
He might have hit one at some point, but he's been a little bit quiet overall. Looking through some of my other prop bets right now.
How's that going?
It's all right. It's going all right. It's going all right.
Listen, he gave y'all some tips. Y'all want to make some money.
Like I said, Strus and Grayson Allen's numbers are both at 2.5 for their assists and their threes. It's a good number for them. It's a number that they can hit consistently. Evan Mobley, anybody who was betting on him before he got hurt knows that Evan Mobley was money on his points, his PRA. I'll take his points today, though. That's what I bet. Kevin Durant rebounding, as far as the 6.5 number, I am not afraid of it at all. You know, if you want to take your chances on guys like Beal and all that, you go ahead and do that. But those are the plays that I like. Those are the ones that I like specifically.
Do the Rockies have bases loaded right now?
Yes, they do. Making it a game. They're making it a game. So yeah, I mean, as far as next week's podcast, what are you thinking? A little bit more of
more baseball. I'll see why not.
Oh, there it was. You missed it. You were looking down. That was a short bomb right there. As usual, nobody's on base when he hits the home run, so just one run shot.
He just
pitcher's not even stressing because I got it out of my system. I'm good. We good. I know what not to throw him. I believe that's lefty on lefty too, so that's a little difficult when dealing with Schwarber. Because that pitch is coming right into him, and all he's got to do is just be still enough, just enough to smack it out of the park, which he did. Cubs right now trying to figure out how to get the hell out of this inning before it gets any messier for them. So yeah, those are my plays for the late game that I'm going to tune into when I get home. Loving the fact that now we've got some late basketball and late baseball to look forward to and watch late at night because it takes me forever to fall asleep. Just to have that, a little bit of Dodgers baseball to end the day, I'll take that all day long, especially with all the ramifications for fantasy baseball and what it means for us in there. Going to be a quieter day of baseball tomorrow. Hoping that whoever you have starting,
it's gonna be a very quiet day.
Hoping that whoever you have starting gives you an efficient day and doesn't hurt your batting average or ERA too much. And then Friday is that final lap for week 1 where whatever the record shows is the record that you are going to end with for that week. And then we head into week 2, a new matchup. And then remember, not an extended week. From that point, it goes from Monday to Sunday night. And then each and every week following that, that's how it's going to be.
Absolutely.
So we talked about the Diggs trade, talked about what it meant. We discussed. Oh, there we go. Any predictions? Give a quick
for this match. There's too many matches to be quick rundown.
You can do
let's
like
just,
the main.
Let's just talk about what people really want to talk about.
Yeah, meat and potatoes.
It's a tag team match. The Bloodline versus the American Nightmare and the usual turncoat Seth Rollins, who I fully anticipate turning on Cody.
Oof.
I fully anticipate that. I think Cody's going to take the pin Saturday night. And then the next day, it'll be a Bloodline rules match, which will then turn into this. It'll be a Bloodline rules match between the two of these guys where I think every Tom, Dick, and Harry that's a part of the Bloodline is going to interfere. Jimmy, Solo, Rock, Roman. I'm going to go on a limb and say Haku's son's going to debut. Tama Tonga. However, I can see Steve. This is how it's going to play out. Either Roman's walking out with that belt again, because, they got to beat Hulk Hogan's record. Got to beat third best record. You got to beat the third longest streak, because, there's no way in hell he's keeping the belt for another 4 years to tie Bruno Sammartino. It's just not happening. Bro. Roman must pose. So if they're going to do that, then Roman's going to win, and it's going to be on a schmaz, because you can't make Cody look too weak losing like that 2 years in a row, because it could totally kill his character. And who's your next babyface? There is no one on the roster. He's your biggest babyface. He's your biggest moneymaker. He's making your T-shirts. Now, if he were to win, he's going to win because of Stone Cold Steve Austin. I have firmly believed that they had laid the groundwork for a Steve Austin beat down of The Rock since The Rock's first promo where he said, there's nobody in that back or on this roster that can stop me. Then 2 weeks ago when he's whooping Cody's ass like a government mule, whose face is on the truck? Then Steve Austin puts out a Twitter video or a TikTok video about how he had a knock on his door and there was an Easter basket with ice and cold beer in it. Not to mention, if you look real quick, because he only goes into the camera like this and goes back out. If you look real quick, in the center of the Easter basket is an Austin 316 t-shirt.
What?
So, the Easter eggs are there. Yes, an Easter basket of beers. I am not bullshit. Look up Steve Austin's latest TikTok video, or it's either on his TikTok or his Twitter, or maybe his IG. Why the hell would an Austin 316 shirt be in the middle of that basket? And not to mention, the last time WrestleMania was in Philadelphia, who was the main event?
Austin Rock, right?
Austin Rock won.
So what's your call?
My thing is, it's going to be the WWE's Avengers, Steve Austin, John Cena, Seth Rollins
versus the Cabal,
the whole bloodline. And if Cody really leaves as the champ, he's gonna now. This is where I think this is my fantasy booking. You know how we start booking shit in my mind. This is how it should go. It's already been rumored for months that Roman is not going to be around till about July, August. So he's about to dip again. My personal belief is the next night on Raw, the Bloodline will turn on Roman Reigns. Everybody's expecting the Bloodline to turn on Rock, make Rock the babyface so that next year's WrestleMania, you will indeed get Roman versus Rock, because that's where all signs are going to point to. But I truly believe the way his Hollywood Rock persona has come off in this last month and a half, I don't think they're ready to cut that. I don't. So I think The Rock and the Bloodline are going to whoop Roman's ass. And what's going to be the heartbreaking point for fans is when Paul Heyman looks at him, my tribal chief, I love you, but I'm sorry. Like, when that happens...
So that means we're going to get more Rock?
And hey, he's
Right.
part of the board now.
Yeah.
He can come and go as he please. But he's also going to be out for 2 months because he's filming a new movie about Mark Coleman, I think it is. I think he's playing Mark Coleman, the former UFC fighter. And Jimmy leads the group for the time being. I can personally see Roman being the face and Rock being the heel next year.
That would be interesting.
Or they could do it sooner at Saudi Arabia.
Blood money. Oh man. Sheesh. I mean, it's this weekend.
It's tough, especially when Heyman gets into. Like I'm telling you, it's too obvious for Rock to be face.
Yeah.
Right now, he's rocking as a heel. So why would you switch it up? I wouldn't do it. And this ain't Vince McMahon booking shit right now. This is Paul. Paul's running things now. And Paul's about old school storylines.
I'll be watching
shit lasting.
I'll be watching the replay Sunday, checking shit out and seeing how Saturday went. Saturday night, I'll most likely be at work.
I'll be watching both nights.
Catching up to what's happening. I'll be on the news feed scrolling, seeing what's going on. And if I don't watch it at night, I'll end up watching it during the day, having my cup of coffee and preparing myself for the Sunday slate.
And, speaking of that, this happens this Friday when SmackDown goes off the air.
Well-deserved. Overdue.
Paul Heyman will be taking his rightful place in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
In Philadelphia, and there's no better place but to put him there.
They did a good job with that.
And Paul Heyman has also said that with his speech, he's winging it. He is not going to – he's going to feel the temperature of the crowd and figure what they want to talk about. Do they want him to talk about ECW? Do they want him to talk about what he's doing with Roman? Or do they just want to talk about different things?
Listen to the fans. Give the people what they want.
And that's how he is.
Like
that's
he always does.
That's how he's always been.
Yeah. And that's good of them to have him do that in Philly, knowing how much that means and knowing that Philly crowd's going to be live, man.
Oh,
Philly crowd.
That's another thing. If this Philly crowd is hot for Cody and he loses, we all know how stupid Philly fan.
Or they could be cheering for Roman, dog.
Yeah, that's another thing.
It's a heel town, bro. It's a heel city. I'm cheering for him. I hope that he wins. I told you
last week, I firmly believe he's walking out. I put it late night on Sunday night. I firmly believe he's walking out as a champion.
If I could,
there's going to be a lot of sad faces.
I can't wait.
Sunday. Somebody played the video of him last year.
Yeah.
Somebody played the video of him last year with when he walked into the press conference. It was like he was like, I see a lot of shocked faces in here. Not the way you thought it was going to be.
Classic heel stuff. From one of the best in recent history to do it.
From going from suffering succotash to where he is now, that just shows you that's who he should have been the whole time. But Vince McMahon, this is good shit.
Suffering succotash, bro.
Never forget that he had Dean Ambrose get an injection to be away from the filth and flarm of fans. Yeah. It's the same Vince McMahon that performed colon surgery on JR. Knowing JR had a real life issue.
Classic Vince.
He's all gone. It's Paul's show now.
We'll see what happens as far as that show, as far as this show.
Next week. And everybody hit me up throughout these next couple of days. I know some of you who are actually going to Mania. Kudos to you guys. You guys got bigger balls than me. There was no way I was paying for those prices. But there's so many events going down starting Thursday. I wish I could go to WWE World this Sunday. WWE World it's going on from Thursday to Sunday at the Pennsylvania Convention Center, where they always used to do the Wizard World Comic Cons. And Hulk Hogan will be there Sunday. Friday, Pat McAfee is doing his podcast there. I think Thursday and Friday, nice. McAfee's doing his podcast live from the convention center.
Good old Pat Mac.
I would love to be there to go see Hogan, try to get an autograph, wait in that crazy-ass line. But my son has flag football. It's his first game of the year, and family first. It's one of those, like, when he gets older, I'm just going to I'm going to make him, like, hear this every chance I get.
Responsibilities, dog. That's how it is, man.
But I love my kid, and I want to watch him play ball. Oh, yeah. So,
Philly got the bases loaded with 2 outs.
It's gonna be interesting. I hope it's a great weekend. Because just like The Rock keeps saying, pro wrestling is cool again. And a lot of it's because of him.
Back. It is back. And we will be back same time, same place next week for another edition of On the Money Podcast, breaking down some of the crazier aspects of free agency, week 2 of the MLB season, and 1 week closer to the actual NBA playoffs. So we'll have a little bit of a roundtable discussion once we get that bracket and break that down, a little bit of April madness, and find out what the matchups are actually going to be with about roughly 2 weeks left on the schedule. The wild card play-in spot race between the Warriors and the Rockets, and what's going on there. And who will be testing the top seeds? Will my Celtics versus Nuggets NBA Finals prediction come true? Hell, will my San Francisco Giants Texas Rangers World Series prediction come through? I hope so, because if it does, I will win over $1,800. Marsh with the pop-up out. Jeez.
Breaking news: Chiefs receiver She Rice is facing a possible suspension from the NFL or the Kansas City Chiefs, per NBC Sports. Rice could face civil liability and potential criminal liability due to his involvement in a 6-car crash. Rice apologized today and took full responsibility. Are you kidding me? That's how the bases loaded ended?
Yeah, Marsh, pop up. It's breaking news to end the show. Doesn't sound too good for Rashee Rice or Chris's hopes as far as the wide receiver room. That's going to be interesting. And, I mean, I wonder how much of that is influencing the Chiefs' decision-making moving forward as far as what they need to do to potentially secure themselves another wide receiver just in case. Or are they just going to do what they normally do and rely on Pat, struggle in the beginning, and then figure out a way to just make it happen at the end and turn it on when it matters most? Who knows? I mean, we're now talking about Travis Kelce at 34, 35 years old. Kadarius Toney still rostered? Still got that guy, or is he part of that team anymore?
I think he is.
Miko Hardman and all them. It's going to be interesting, man. Rashee Rice was a guy that, you know, for Dynasty, I was definitely looking at trying to get a hold of him and bringing him in, and now maybe it might be a good time to get him. Maybe the value is a little bit lower, knowing that this guy is probably going to be missing in action for a little bit.
Yep.
But we shall see. Nonetheless, same time, same place, unless you're with us in one of the basketball group chats or a part of the On the Money Sports Fan Forum where the conversation never ends. Thank you for joining in. Shout out to Chris. Shout out to Chris. Shout out to Chris. All the Chris's that were tuned in for tonight. All of you guys. Shout out to you. Shout out to Drewski for tuning in, talking some baseball with us. That's more or less what these episodes are going to be now moving forward. We're transitioning into baseball, playoff basketball, NFL free agency news, and we're going to tackle all of that and more to the best of our abilities, sprinkle in a little bit of nostalgia mania, and also X-Men, new episode tonight.
It was good.
I'm going to end up catching it because I didn't watch it today. I was on baseball mode. So
yeah, it was Easter egg filled.
I'll be tuning into that. Something
to watch out for everybody who's watching it. I hope nobody skips the intro. I hope you're enjoying the 30 seconds of bliss of that song.
Just let that music ride.
Pay attention to the opening credits. The opening scenes change week to week.
That's cool.
If you pay attention, they show nods to past episodes when certain characters are going to be on.
That's pretty cool. Definitely something to look out for. Yeah, man. So, next week, same time, same place, guys.